On Friday, Hezbollah released a threatening 4-minute video showing massive underground tunnel network in southern Lebanon. They demonstrate the movement of secret, hidden, and unreachable ballistic missiles that can reach any point in any city from the north to the southernmost tip of Israel. Let's put aside the violation of UN Resolution 1701 for a moment, and the fact that these tunnels were constructed under the nose of the UN peacekeepers. These ballistic missiles are 8 seconds, 15 seconds, and 30 seconds from 1 million people, 1 to 2 minutes from 8 million more. And these are not idle threats, given the over 8,000 rockets, drones, and anti-tank missiles that have already been fired at Israel from Lebanon since October 8th. In this video, Hezbollah claims tunnels reaching across the Syrian border and all the way to Jordan. In 1961, President Kennedy in the United States was pushed to the brink of nuclear war when the former Soviet Union put nuclear missiles some 400 miles off the coast of Florida. This Hezbollah infrastructure puts ballistic missiles a few kilometers from innocent citizens. In the early 2000s, the United States and its allies went to war in Iraq on the rumor of weapons of mass destruction. First, a message to Lebanon. The state of Israel has tried up till now to keep Lebanon and its citizens out of this conflict. Early on in this conflict, the state of Lebanon stated that it didn't want a war with Israel and that nothing was off the table. These parlor games may have worked in the past, but they have now hit a point of critical mass. The pretense that Hezbollah is not Lebanon, and Lebanon is not Hezbollah, while Hezbollah, up until recently, held support from 71 seats of the Lebanese parliament, giving them a majority of seats in the Lebanese parliament. Though lost down to 62 out of 128 seats in 2022, that still constitutes nearly 49% control over parliament. Saying that Hezbollah is not Lebanese is as absurd as to say that U.S. Democrats are not Americans. And if the Democrats, or the Republicans for that matter, sat on the border shooting daily rockets and threatening to invade Canada, it would be equally absurd to say that that didn't constitute a threat from the United States, or to suggest that Canada doesn't have a right to respond to the United States. It is more absurd for anyone to believe this massive infrastructure and stockpile of weaponry, boasting over 160,000 rockets, was created and stored unknowingly. Hezbollah has now put the state of Lebanon and its citizenry in a position of decision. Either Lebanon condemns and takes immediate action against the former majority of the Lebanese parliament, or as Plato coined, silence gives consent, and is to be considered condoning solidarity with the terrorist organization. Though they may have recently lost majority, they still appear to rule over the will of the Lebanese people. Now a message to Hezbollah. 2 things. This video, backed by the continuous daily barrages, assures the absolute destruction of southern Lebanon. Your tit-for-tat mantra is obscene. Let's be very clear. You started this conflict, and you have now given Israel no choice but to finish it. Secondly, the land formerly known as southern Lebanon, the property of the sovereign state of Lebanon, is no longer such a thing. Lebanon accepts no responsibility for the actions done by Hezbollah in southern Lebanon. So it is either no longer a part of the sovereign state of Lebanon, or Lebanon is no longer sovereign over it. It is land in contention or in play. But as demonstrated in this Hezbollah video, it is no longer land at all. It is a massive underground military installation. It is a massive weapon of horrifying destruction. The entire southern border is a weapon with endless numbers of barrels from which to fire from. It is a 50-mile-long hidden ballistic missile machine gun that is pointed at 9 million people. This leaves Israel no choice but to seize it and control it until it can be destroyed and no longer pose a threat to the 9 million citizens of Israel. Thank you very much, Hezbollah, for making that abundantly clear.